Greg Papa. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, David. Yes, I got more hair than I ever had. I thought about getting cancer, I'd lose my hair. I'm not losing it, and I got it all over my face as well. So today's actually my birthday.
Hey!
63 years of age today, 10-10. So
look at that.
Yeah, I'm going to ring that bell
Yes,
sometime. And when I'm cancer-free, we'll ring the bell. But I turned 62 to 63 this year, but I feel 163, especially the last 3 months. So, which got us to thinking.
Yeah.
10-10 is my birthday. Who's your all-time favorite number 10 in the history of American or anything? There's so many great soccer players. The great Pele wore number 10. Who's your all-time number 10?
Golly. That is, because you're right. There are a lot of number 10s. And Greg, you know what you've just done? You've stumbled on. I was going to be honest.
You're going to go Bo Derek, aren't you?
You've stumbled on, honestly, the biggest weakness I have, which is I'm terrible. I know that Michael Jordan was 23 and so is LeBron James. I know that Kobe wore 8 and 24. I know that Joe Montana is number 16. But I am the worst when it comes to 10s. So I'm going to punt, and I'm going to think of the only number 10 I can think of right now, which is, I believe, the Sacramento Kings DeMar DeRozan wore number 10. I don't know if he still does or not.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
It's probably Pele.
Well, you know what the difference is? As a play-by-play announcer,
yes.
I kind of have to have
you
numbers.
have
if
to.
I don't have numbers, I'm going to be lost. So it's the numbers to names and out of my mouth. So, I mean, my generation, Clyde Frazier of the Knicks, there was nobody cooler than Clyde. Wore number 10, going back to Phil Rizzuto, and you can go on and on.
Yeah.
Pele. But I'm thinking about Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay.
Number 10.
Okay.
The Bo Derek of NFL quarterbacks.
That's
really
right.
A perfect 10. Have you seen that Arby's ad, by the way, where he's laying on the red Ferrari? Wow.
Let me tell you.
Jimmy is aging better than ever.
He's dreamy.
But I'm going to go with a guy who does not have the bod of Jimmy Garoppolo, and that's our number 10 right now, Mac Jones.
That's right.
Wow.
And I have to add to this conversation, guys.
It's going to be something. It's going to be something soccer. Watch.
No, it's strange that Dave went with DeMar DeRozan and not probably one of the most famous number 10s for the Sacramento Kings, Mike Bibby, and current Sac State head coach Mike Bibby.
You know,
got to go Mike Bibby.
Yeah.
I love Mike Bibby.
Greg, I
remember his father, Henry Bibby.
Yes, the great coach.
UCLA. Yeah.
I will tell you this. I am, for obvious reasons, looking forward to. I hope there will be video of you ringing that bell, because I did it for obvious reasons, but also I had a conversation not that long ago about things on social media that instantly make me cry. Number one, well, not necessarily in this order, but I'll just say, number one, military reunions. When like the military person comes home and surprises the kid or the wife or the husband or whatever, I lose it every single time. I lost it at the Budweiser commercial. Every time I lose it.
Who doesn't?
Number two, when I think I recently saw, it was Randy Moss, I think, that walked through where you have all the doctors and nurses lined up and everybody's cheering and they ring the bell and it's just the whole, like the whole journey, everything. Like how do you not lose it at that? And then obviously I Love You More Than Life itself. So that I'm just going to be a ball of goo. And then the other one's always like dog rescues. I lose it every time I see, and they always play that Sarah McLachlan song. And then the dog, the dog's all torn up and what? It's a horrible thing. And then they show the dog like they do like the dog montage of it recovering, and then months later it's playing with a ball or something. I lose it every single time, Greg.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do the daily double and pull me out of the bay, save me, and then have me run right to a bell, right at a bar, drink till I'm clear. That's what I'm going to do when I ring that
bell. When before we move on to football, though, I do have again, as people know by now, Greg is battling cancer, and he has been so kind not just to come on the show, but be vulnerable and share his story, which I know based on all the responses we get, and I can only imagine over at KNBR and all your listeners, has been such an inspiration for so many who are battling the same thing. so we're always going to check in because we love him. And I know that you had said last weekend you were having a bunch of stuff going on last weekend, and I was thinking about you all weekend long. I assume everything went okay. Thumbs up, all that.
It did. I had a full weekend at UCSF, and I'm handling. It's amazing. I feel amazing, and I really have not had a lot of side effects. I don't want to say I feel bad that I'm not experiencing what a lot of other people experience. I'm doing great. I got to go. I'm going to do my radio show today on my birthday for 90 minutes. I got to leave at 11:30 to get back to UCSF for more treatments today at 12:30. I got the weekend off. I got to go back next Monday, and then we go from there. So I'm doing amazingly well. I've only had a couple of cycles of the chemo and the immunotherapy. Belinda got me through this, but it's been amazing. And, on my birthday, everybody, reaching out, and I'm just getting inundated with text. So I will reach out to everybody. But I will be able to watch the full schedule on Sunday.
Good.
I won't have to do it in the hospital. Although I got a good setup in the hospital, I got to say. I bring my Stand By Me.
Stand By Me.
And I'm not, today would be a day that I would, I thought about my birthday or Christmas or so many holidays, 4th of July. Did I ever have the 4th of July off? Memorial Day, Labor Day.
Yeah.
I worked all three sports, so I worked so often on my birthday. And today would have been a day to travel.
Yeah.
If I was well, I'd be doing my radio show from Levi's, talking to you, driving down there, and then getting on the charter and flying back to Tampa. We were there last year. It seems we played this team. This will be 4 straight years. From Tom Brady's final season and Brock's first start, and played him the year after. Then last year, people forget, but Jake Moody did make a game-winning field goal to beat them. So it would have been, another airplane flight for me on my birthday, which when you look back, the one thing that's the most precious in your life, when you're young and trying to grow, and it's money and kids, and then it becomes time, where time begins, the sands of the hourglass begin to trickle out, and you just have a limited amount of time. We all do, no matter what you're facing. And I just think of all the bus rides and plane rides and waiting to get into a hotel and just all the waiting around. So that would be my day, but I would be doing it with my love, which would be all my iPads and, studying Todd Bowles' defense and Baker Mayfield, Ibuka and their offense and all that. So it's a little different for me. I'll have a great birthday, certainly. Once I get out of UCSF today, but it just seems like in our business, Dave, you don't get holidays, you don't get birthdays, you don't get weekends off. That's the hard thing. But that's the same for the players. Obviously, all these great teams like Kansas City, they got to play on every single holiday. The Warriors are always playing on Christmas Day, so we're traveling, Christmas Eve or whatever it is. So it's hard, but no, I'm blessed. I know this last 3 months have been hard, but the next 3 months, I think we do see a little light at the end of the tunnel.
You know what else gets me about our business too, Greg? I imagine you've heard this through the years, but in radio, they always call the I think it's November, December, January. They call that the holiday book, and
right.
and the program director's always like, it's a holiday book. Nobody really looks at the holiday book, and I'm like, that's where all our stuff happens. How do we not look at the holiday book? We're not music. And then I said, well, screw it then. Just put on Christmas music all morning. Give me 3 months off, right?
Where's Jason, by the way? Are you going solo today?
Yeah, I am. I know. That'd be funny. He just hasn't said anything yet. No, Jason is traveling. He too, much like yourself, is a play-by-play voice. So he is. Where is he, Chris? I think he's in Montana. We don't know. He's somewhere.
You're a good partner. You're a good partner, dude.
He's somewhere with Sac State.
The Hornets.
The Hornets, which is a great segue because Weber State. Well, where the hell is Weber State? Is that Utah? Hey, it's in Utah.
Isn't that Damian Lillard went to Weber State?
That's I think that's right. Yeah. Yeah, so he's hanging out in Weber State, which let me tell you, what a campus, what a city. I have no idea. I've never been there, but I do have a great segue into Cameron Scadaboo. I know we're here to talk Niners, but I know you're a football guy, and Cam Scadaboo is a football guy. He's from Rio Linda up here, played at Sac State. Everybody talks about Arizona State, but he's ours. He belongs to us. And I was going through comps with another guest earlier, Greg, and I was like, well, Christian Okoye, probably not. Peyton Hillis, Lendale White. Do you have a comp for Cam Scadaboo?
It's funny you mentioned that because I was watching him, and I actually met him. I went to the Combine in Indianapolis for the first time this year. We had a spot on Radio Row, and he sat down to do a hit with the Chicago Bears website. And I jumped up and introduced myself and told him I was with the Niners, and he immediately said, I just talked to the Niners. I think they're going to draft me.
Oh, man.
So I'm like, whoa, really? That'd be an interesting room.
Yes.
They wind up going Jordan James. And, he's not a big guy. His ability to break tackles and just the overall toughness and follow the track, impressive. I mean, 3 touchdowns last night. All the gymnastics, the floor exercise after he scored. Wow. I mean, and what they're doing. And I love Jackson Dart. I just love the way he threw the football. I remember I came away thinking, what's wrong with Jackson Dart besides the fact he played for Lance Kiffin?
Yeah.
I mean, what do they do? I mean, just a natural thrower of the football. So they got something going on in their chemistry. I mean, you go back to an earlier era of football, and you hate to bring the white running back into it.
Yeah.
The Miami Dolphins had a really good player. Larry Zonka's a Hall of Famer, and Mercury Morris was the speed guy. But Jim Kick was a running back they had with them, and they would alternate. Zonka never came off the field because he played fullback, whether he was blocking or carrying it, but they would rotate Kick and Morris. They're very different players. So Scadaboo's got a little Jim Kick in him, and Jim Kick was a good player.
Yeah.
The way he would turn the edge. Rocky Blyer was an underrated player for years with Pittsburgh next to Franco Harris, but Rocky Blyer had some big plays. So you don't want to just bring up the white running backs, but right. I think, you're kind of go that way. That's unfair to the human race to do that. So I don't want to do it. He's a lot better than I thought he would be. Honestly, he's a really good football player. He blocks well. He can catch it out of the backfield. And he obviously loves the game, and he gives the guys a lot of juice. So what a performance last night. And Dart is just different. Wow. And then Philadelphia, going over to the Niners in this Tampa game, going into last night, Philly was 4-1, Detroit 4-1, and the 2 teams they're going to play in Florida, the Niners and Bucs, are 4-1. And Philly was 4-0 and lost a big lead to Bo Nix in Denver, and they lost last week. Now they've lost 2 in a row, and they look lost. They can't get Saquon Barkley going. The quarterback looks limited. They're all fighting. It's just amazing how they all fight in Philadelphia constantly. There's no guarantee that Philly's going to win the NFC East or even win the NFC, or we assume they're going to be there in the end. But Scadaboo, and the way he came out and handled himself with the Amazon Prime guy, Sherman, all the guys, he's just got it. He's got it. There's something about that game. And obviously his bowl game against Texas was one of the greatest of all time. I know McCaffrey watched that. So I'd have to think a little more about it, more modern players that have run like him a little bit. But right away, I'd say probably the guy who reminds me the most of is Jim Kick, who was he was part of the Dolphins, 14-0, and they won the 3 in the playoffs, 17-0, the only perfect team in the history of pro football. Their backfield was Larry Zonka, Mercury Morris, and Jim Kick.
I'm looking at Google Images of Jim Kick, and
he had a cool Fu Man.
He
could rock a Fu, didn't he?
He looks like he ate gravel for dinner, and just what a football player.
Don't you like a Fu? I'm thinking, I got this full beard.
Yes.
And now it's Brett Kiesel. It's hanging down to my knees. When I do ring the bell and shave the beard, I'm going to play with it. I may leave like one side beard, one side not.
Go Fu!
Can I go Fu?
Go Fu!
Are Fu Manchus cool anymore?
Probably not, but when would they not be cool? Greg Papa with the Fu? Come on.
Do you have a picture? Rocky Blyers, I remember, or maybe Jim Kick as well, were rocking Fus in Miami.
Yeah, no problem with it. You think it's going to grow long enough for you to be Santa Claus? Do you have enough time between now and December?
Have you seen me lately? I'm going to send you a picture. This thing is I was with my hematologist, and he said, "You feeling any side effects of the chemotherapy?" And I said, "Only I feel like I've got all this hair on my face constantly." And he's like, "Greg, you do." Beyond that, I'm good. So no, it's kind of honestly, it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
it's because now it's 3-dimensional. But I told you the story. It reminds me that because I don't feel sick. I'm doing my radio show every day, just about, and I'm a little wobbly here and there, but so I feel fine. It's a way to remind me that inside my body, I got this ugly mass that lives inside of me that I got to kill. So what's a better way to remind myself that I have it by putting it right on my face?
Yeah, why not?
I don't like Mike Tyson's tattoo on his face, so I decided to grow a beard. It all works.
Greg Papa with us. Greg, how the hell are the 49ers 4-1? We talked a little bit, we talked a lot about their win over the Rams. 2 really fun consecutive Thursday night football games, I should say. Now they go into Tampa Bay, and I feel bad about this because I think I'm coming in here and I'm trying to take the red and gold glasses off, and I'm going, I don't know how they go into Tampa Bay and win. They're incredibly impressive, but at some point I'm also the devil on my shoulder, or maybe it's the angel, is saying, when are you going to quit doubting the Niners, stupid? I'm not there yet, but man, they're surprising people.
Well, and last week's win was historic. I mean, on just every level, maybe Kyle's finest hour in the regular season, and the way he's coaching with all the eligibles in and out, and what Mac Jones was able to pull off, just heroic. Not just, and we talked about it last week. The 2 opening drives and the Hollywood play and the jet pass reverse flea flicker and getting McCaffrey on the goal line when you went 2 running backs, 3 tight ends, no wide receivers. I mean, just brilliant. And then you're coming up with historic goal line performances. Dan Buns and Hacksaw Reynolds and Ronnie Lott to get the first Super Bowl, and what Alfred Collins was able to do with the punch out, and everybody, Chase Lucas and Diamador and Fred and Michael and, Collins as well to get this 4th and 1 stop. You go around the league, and because I got nothing else to do right now, and I would watch it anyway, but I'm not doing games. When I was preparing for a game, I'd watch, every single snap at Tampa, and I watch a lot of them, but I'm watching the whole league. You can say that about every team in the NFL, David. They're flawed. Buffalo looked like a team that was hard to beat, and then Miami almost beat them, should have beat them. Likewise, New Orleans, and then New England did beat them. No one's going undefeated. We don't have a Jim Kick, perfect 72 Dolphins season. It's not happening.
Right.
There's a lot of imperfection in the league. There are a lot of like schemes. Teams run Kyle's offense, Bill Walsh's offense, Kyle and McVay. It's all over the league. 2/3 of the teams run that offense. Everybody's running Lord Fangio, Vic Fangio's cover 4, or Saleh and Pete Carroll's cover 3, or the Tampa 2, that they invented years ago with Tony Dungy, and, all the 2 safeties high and keep it down. So it's just what I don't understand. Last weekend, all the comebacks where teams came from way behind, double digits and more. In the NBA, the 3 balls changed all that. Nobody ever came from 20 down in the NBA in the second half. Now you can do it in 6 minutes. If you just get hot on some threes and get some stops, you can make it up. So it's just the math of it. And then baseball and everybody trying to lift and separate. You're seeing teams that are winning now, like Toronto and Milwaukee, put the ball in play more. I honestly don't know why. We had the great Cynthia Freeland, who's just such a brainiac from NFL Network and all the analytics and computers. And I asked her, why are these teams all coming back? And she thought it was because more money's being paid to offensive players than defensive players. Just because you make more money doesn't make you a better player. And there are a lot of defensive players that do make a lot of money. So I don't know if that's it. I'm not sure why. But I'm telling you that when you watch the league, there is a lot of up and down. The Philadelphia Eagles are schizophrenic.
Yes.
There are times they look like the best team in the league by far, and there are times they look like they just met each other 5 minutes ago. They before this 2-game losing streak, what had they won? 20 of the previous 21?
Hadn't lost since before Christmas.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I know with the Niners, how they're just doing it. Just win, baby. Just figure out a way to get it done. And likewise with Tampa. Tampa's average score this year is 27 for Tampa, 26.4 for the opponents. So we're talking, half a point So just go in there and beat them 20.5 to 20. Whatever you have to do to find a way to win, and that's how these games are being decided. So it seems like it's unique to the Niners, but really, I see it throughout the entire league. There's just a lot of up and down football being played right now.
Greg Papa, voice of the Niners, with us each and every week. Always an adventure for you each and every week as well, Greg, but you're always in our hearts and our prayers, and we love you, and we thank you for coming on. It's always my favorite segment. All right, have a wonderful weekend. David. All right, you take care. Bye-bye. That's Greg Papa. To his point, the Buccaneers, 4 wins by 3 over the Falcons, 1 over the Texans, 2 over the Jets, 3 over the Seahawks last weekend. Even their loss to the Eagles was by 6. So that'll be quite interesting. We will take a break. When we return, hey, listen, we got celebrity birthdays. We got Friday Fun and Games. But joining us in our next segment, on YouTube, you see this, all right? You see our friends at Jeezels, their barbecue sauce, and that whole logo on the screen. Well, they're coming in the next segment, as promised, with some actual barbecue on a Friday.